There's nothing else. Literally not another drop. There's no insight. There's no policy knowledge. There's not even like any sort of connections. Just first off, have been doing that for a long time and never stray from it. Just say, oh my God, you're right. Whatever the thing is of the literal moment that's happening, that's the mildest hot take. Yeah, that's like the most obvious intuitive response to this, and it's crazy people aren't being intuitive. Congratulations, you cracked the code. Literally, you can start this now. Just do it. I just feel like I kind of feel like there's a bunch of people I want to debate on stuff. And like, I just want to have like a conversation. I don't want to do blood sports necessarily. I like blood sports when it's with somebody that's worth doing blood sports with. I feel like, with all due respect, Demon Mama's had a bunch of bad take. A bunch of her videos, it seems like she's dedicated to having like a series of bad takes in a row. I don't know why. And I'm not like mad at her about it. But like, it's very noticeable that she put just a series of videos. I almost feel like I'm being like poked. Like, you have to respond to this because there was the journalism thing, and then she has another one about like just vote to people, and I'm like, well, that's just, you're not hitting the specific. Why are you saying the things that you're saying with such confidence in such an odd direction? Come on, you want to talk about it? I feel like people need to talk more in these spheres and just have a conversation. I just don't know how to like get it going. Demon Mama is hit or miss with her takes, IMO, but she comes across to me as coming from a good place, unlike some other internet lefties. I know, I think that's the issue. I can end on that because I kind of want to get into it. I think Demon Mama goes with her gut instinct too much. And that's what's fucking her up. I think a lot of her audience likes that about her, which is fine. You know, I mean, you gotta make your audience happy kind of deal. But really, I think she trusts the cause too much. One of the good ones was she repeated the gun tubers thing, right? And there's some gun tuber who's an asshole, and it came out in the video, and he was like, whatever, he said something about like, we're gonna shoot trans people or something like that, and it cut off. That was the thing. I can't even remember if it was a video. I just saw clips of it going around on Twitter, and she's like, this is what gun tubers are like, which is a crazy extrapolation to make because that's one person saying a specific thing, and it just seems like it's that same dumbass fucking cycle that we go into. I don't know if I'm a we yet in this fucking online thing yet, or just something that I've observed is that there's a continuous, so one of you guys called me out on it, where I was doing the video essayists are all dumb shits. And then you're like, Tyler, but how many video essayists that are bad can you name? And then I thought about it, and it was like literally DJ Mule, Noah Samson sometimes, and then like the lady that called Shark Zero a slur, and then like two other people, but they're all in the same little crew. It's just a little cabal of like non-entities that all make the same content. And even I had to go like, well, fuck, I guess I'm literally off base. Like, that's a mistake. Like, I'm wrong on that. So fucking, I can't say that anymore. The second I said it, I was like, maybe I'll start making some video essay style content. I got a teleprompter. I bought a teleprompter last week. It's not expensive. It's just a little box. I think I already told you guys this, but I think it's that same cycle again, where you're purposelessly alienating a subsection of the internet that might not be politically opposed to you entirely, because one of them gave you the bad vibes, and then immediately everybody else, I guess, wasn't calling them out. And I think a bunch of this is fallout from In Praise of Shadows, who's a fucking idiot. If you were like, I think In Praise of Shadows is cooking here, for a fucking second during that video, you have to do some internal, like, some introspection, because he fucked up that entire thing. He was more than likely probably on the right path with some of his assessments. Obviously, Brandon Herrera, I've been kind of glancing at. Brandon Herrera seems like a dipshit. He's just a conservative fucking moron. He ran for office. He shook Trump's hand. We're politically enemies. You know what I mean? Like, you're not on anybody's side. You're a fucking idiot. But the thing is when you do this, let me explain why this is bad. All right. One guy is bad. He's observably bad. When you say the guy that's bad is bad, you are correct. When you say the guy that's bad and all of the people around him are bad, if you aren't provably correct, then you're wrong. You're wrong. You're just wrong, unfortunately. Stop doing the thing where it's the bar, the statement again and again. It's the bar where the Nazi goes into. If it's not a bar and it's not a Nazi. Right? That's about keeping Nazis out of your group to stop your group from getting Nazified. It is not carte blanche to say every time you see somebody with one weird friend that they're bad and then every single person around them is bad as well and as bad as the person. Because what you do is, first off, you just arm Shoe on Head. Shoe on Head armed. How do I know? Dipshits like Shoe on Head, who is basically she's like the Destiny for the right. You know why I say Destiny is a pressure variation that sucks people leftward somehow and invariably? I don't understand the mechanics of it, but it does happen. Shoe on Head is the opposite. Shoe on Head is a fucking rightward pipeline type person. She really just is. Or even if she doesn't do it, she is a person that will recategorize people as being on the right using tricks like this. Basically, you say, hey, all of GunTube is on the right. All of the right will say, yep, they're on our side. Even people that are in GunTube that don't agree with them are now like, oh, this is my team. I didn't realize that. Well, you established them as that team when you just said they're on their team because of a vibe that you got from somebody that's not all of these other people. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know that much about GunTube. I know that conservatives are dickheads and conservatives like guns. Okay. Is that the entirety of the methodology you used as well? Because it's not like you're calling out individual conduct by individuals again and again and again, which is what you actually need to do. You just turned Gun Jesus. You turned one of my actual favorite GunTubers, one of my favorite YouTubers, period. I guess he is a neo-Nazi? What the fuck? Ian McCollum? What's it called? God damn it, I can't remember his action. He's an In-Range TV guy. In-Range TV is not like hyper conservative. They're pro 2A responsibly from what I've seen from their stuff. And then there's a whole bunch of lefties that are like that too. You don't have to like guns at all. But hating gun tubers, you know what I mean? Just off rip and assuming that they are the worst aspects of conservative belief just because they're in that area will make you look crazy. Because you essentializing something in an absolute way presents a situation. I'm just going to tell you from tactics. If you essentialize everything in an absolute way, then you create a situation where someone provides you a single scrap of evidence opposite, and now you're literally wrong. You're literally wrong. And fucking lefties for some reason do this again and again and again and again and again. Sometimes at literal counterpoints to other lefties saying shit like fucking random parts of horror or hyper conservative or something. Like, why are you ceding ground? Just call the specific bad behavior out that you see, right? Stop trying to draw lines in the sand when you're when we're on the nobody. We're fucking nobody's side, you know? Like, oh, we can't ever win elections and no one pays any attention to us. Well, maybe it's because of the fucking goddamn lines in the sand that you're pouring the sand down for and then drawing between yourself and people that don't even know you're there. You know, we don't like that over here. People are like, who the fuck are you? What? You know, when you get excited because you're trying to fucking jump up your fan base, all right, maybe even just your friends on Twitter. People obviously, you very often put yourself into positions where you're getting fired up and hyper goddamn excited about something, and it's going to be people's first introduction to you because you're talking about them and they don't know anything about your cause. They just don't. But they're like, wow, I guess fucking trans people on Twitter hate me for some reason. I don't know. I review Mosin Nagants. I'm literally like a pro-communism rifle-loving guy. That's all I do is talk about communism and Mosin Nagants. But apparently trans people fucking hate me. Like, it's reactionary, literally. That's what you're doing. You're just trying to exist as the shadow of concepts by just literally reacting to them full bore every time. If you ever notice that you get that little like crowd cheer of oh, if you ever feel like you have a bunch of fucking seals clapping for you and people aren't really reacting with what you're saying, you're probably not stimulating the part of their brain that's thinking a bunch. You're probably just getting reactions, which is, I don't know, probably a whole thing that's bad that we talk about here and there. Wait, what's up with Ian McCollum? Nothing. Ian McCollum is based. Gun Jesus is still fucking cool. Everyone loves him. Demon Mama said that he's part of the bad guys. Demon Mama said that gun tubers are bad. She said that gun tubers are like the gun tuber that said the thing that's bad about LGBTQ people. She said that's the case. And she didn't specify not Ian McCollum, so Ian McCollum's in there too. So apparently Ian McCollum is transphobic and wants a trans genocide. Which is, by the way, I know it's literally not what they said, but you have to extrapolate shit out. I get called out on this from like the Vosh-ite area. Like, why are you nitpicking all the time? And like, it was driving me nuts that I kept hearing the word nitpicking, which means he must have said it at some point, or someone in his periphery said it and they picked it up like the little fucking lint rollers they are with ideas. If there is any better description, and this is no offense, it's just like it happens. I was in Vosh's audience for a while too. They are lint rollers for philosophical terms that no one ever defines for them, or like just even sometimes argumentative terms. They're like a series of Tony Sopranos hearing a word and then repeating it in half wrong context for the rest of the episode because he thought it sounded cool. Nitpicking. The concept a lot of they're describing, I realize it's epiphany, in-bed epiphany. I'm one of those guys. I sit in bed and I consider the philosophical ramifications of what I say and what people are fucking responding to me. I'm very often wrong. I am very deeply flawed. I am too upset all the time, and I'm sorry for how insulting I can be. I'm apologizing for someone else in the other room who has told me that I have to be nicer. But I realized what they're coming out against is scrutiny. That's what it is. I'm not nitpicking anything. Nitpicking is pedantry, right? Nitpicking is like literally like, you know, you're picking at fleas in someone's hair. I'm doing scrutiny, which, you know, could be mistaken for nitpicking. It's the same sort of thing. Literally focusing on something and trying to understand it. That's scrutiny, which is a crazy thing for a community literally packed to the fucking brim with autistic people to be calling out, because scrutiny is an aspect of hyperfocus. Literally the same thing. You know, when you're looking at your gunpla, am I calling anyone out? You know, when you're looking at your gunpla and you're saying, I think that the laser score on this right armor hip piece should be at this angle because I believe when the fake battle that never happened and he was shot at by a Zaku Mark II or whatever the fuck, it glanced off his gauntlet right to the right of his pinky and then bounced down through this thigh armor piece, and that's why this scoring is at this angle. But you're staring at it. You know when you're staring at your little gunpla and then you go, this is the proper angle. And it needs to be right here. And then if I put this little bit, it'll look like the paint's blistered off of that. That is scrutiny. You're scrutinizing something. That is what scrutiny is. When I'm when I'm focusing on something and I'm trying to understand it, that is scrutiny. Nitpicking is when someone else picks up your gunpla, right? Or your Gundam or whatever. And they go, I just don't really know about this color white. Why did you pick this kind of white? Is this even the shade of white? Nitpicking is not understanding what you're looking at, but trying to pretend like you do. Really is the case. By by criticizing things that are observable, by literally picking at nits, by instead of seeing the whole of something, only seeing the fleas on it. This is the difference between nitpicking and scrutiny. Don't let yourself get tricked by people saying shit like that and saying, well, he's just nitpicking. Is the person ignoring the whole for the piece, or is the person trying to understand the pieces to understand the whole? That's what I'm trying to do. And it was confusing because I know what all of these words mean, but the people that say them don't, because they're lint rollers, literally picking up little bits of shit and not quite fucking understanding how anything works because they're not even picking them up off of the server. They're just like, I have all of these disparate concepts and ideas that I've heard this guy say, this little internet streamer baby. Why do they not work for me? Why can't I put them together? Certainly it's not his fault because he's rich. It is literally where you always go back to it. He's rich and he has a lot of viewers and people watch him all the time. So therefore he can't be wrong. So how can I solve for X? I have to make the other person wrong. Well, the other person's literally correct. So I have to literally create an additional non-variable that will permit me to solve for X. I have to create a literal intangible non-variable, and that will be this thing that he said that one time that I picked up off my lint roller. Nitpicking. Oh, I'm going to use this one that I picked up off my nit roller, my lint roller. He's being dishonest. I'm going to pick this one from my lint roller. He is doesn't believe in what he's saying. And so I can add this additional variable, and now I can solve for X. Because X cannot not be what I think of as X. It can't be that the entire equation is wrong. I just have to add stuff to the equation in order for all the numbers and letters to balance out the correct way. Chad nitpicks for 3 hours. Yes. Nitpicking used to be how we socialized like all the other apes. True. It's a good term if you understand it for what else it can be. Nitpicking is not the act of scrutiny. Nitpicking is trying to say that the nits that you're picking are more important than the thing that you're picking them off of. You know what I mean? Like you're like this. Literally like touching like something like that. I don't know about this. I don't know about that. It's the same. Nitpicking is the lady that's at the grocery store touching every fucking tomato and putting them all back like she's even going to cook anything with these fucking things that's going to be better than ketchup. That's nitpicking. Scrutiny is an aspect of that. A nitpicker will be, God, that sounds almost racist. It's the nit and then the It's just like even that part of my brain, like like a spaceship that goes too close, like it's Starship Troopers when she goes too close to the dock. I didn't hit it, but every alarm went off and I panicked. Did you guys see? Like my whole body seized up. Fucking a hard R nitpicker. Jesus Christ. Dude, if I was ever in a debate, first off, my wife would come in here hitting me with shit if I said a fucking slur. But second, God, my whole body would see. You probably would actually see me fucking die on screen. I have like nightmares about accidentally. I would never do it. You know, it's the call to the void stuff where you're like, what if you just jerked your wheel going 80 down the freeway off of the side of a bridge? You're like, wow, that like caused my whole body to flinch. I don't know why that happened, and I would never do it. But like the possibility of doing it, you know, if you had a dream where you're like, dude, I dreamed last night that I drove off a bridge. Like last night I dreamed that I was like, I didn't even do it. I don't even say that shit in my dreams. Like I just like, you just have a dream where you live the repercussions of something. Aren't those horrible? Like, and then I'm just like, now I'm here in the same sort of situation. And then like the word syllables happen. Like, also Vosh says, are you obsessed? It seems like the cousin to Rev says Dez, holy projection Batman. True. But to cut it back for just a second, those two things are like it's important to have that in your mind if I'm going to teach people anything about words, because you can confuse one for the other. But understand that like nitpicking is about pedantry. You know what I mean? It literally is about the act of perceiving flaws as not a part of the whole, which I don't do. I just know that I don't. The people also, you don't make any arguments. Like, I know I make arguments because I have to. Like, what did I not say the entire time? I mean, I know I insulted the guy probably, but like, even those are usually arguments as well. But no, it's scrutiny, and it's a fear of scrutiny that I think a lot of these ideas come from. A lot of these immediate reactions. I keep getting people saying like, I'm really upset that like I didn't get it the first two of the videos that you made, but now I feel like I'm being radicalized against watching Bosch videos. And I know, man, I'm not trying to like literally all jokes aside, like cause physical harm or something to the guy. But it is just, once I notice it, I can't help but point it out to other people. It's kind of like, you know, if you were watching The Emperor Without the Clothes and you were one person, you were like, is this guy naked? And that guy went, you see it too? And you're like, yes. This guy's naked, right? You say it a little bit louder and you wait for another person to go like, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, is this guy naked? You see the whole crowd just like, and then you hear other people say it and you're like, okay, I'm not crazy. I can't exist like that. I just can't do it. I get freaked the fuck out when people like, because I do have brain damage. Like I sometimes reality isn't like, it gets wishy-washy because of, you know, the mental illness. And so I can't let actual reality get wishy-washy. I can't let people do gaslighty shit. I just, even if it's like improper, I flick it away. I have to, because my reality is already tenuous enough. Like I listen to that goddamn Caretaker shit about the person losing their mind, you know, and it's a, and it was nice the first few times, and then I read the backstory, and now every time I hear it, I have this like fucking body deep terror of losing my mind as I slip slowly into like Alzheimer's or something, because, you know, I'm getting older, and so like that could happen. Like, oh, can I just, I mean, I'll turn, well, no, missing time's fine. Missing time's fine for all this stuff. Like, you know, I'm starting to see my relatives change and become, like, I've seen them happen for a while. Like, one of my uncles, when I was a kid, was in a band. Very cool guy, rocker, long hair. And now he has slowly but surely become a conservative Catholic. And, like, my dad, who used to be pretty, like, you know, libertine in his own way, is now like watches Fox News and stuff, and like is slowly kind of like shutting himself into that kind of aspect of the world. And I'm freaked out that it might not be like that. You become more conservative as you get older is not, to me, an insinuation of mental health and wellness. Like, you learn, because all of the old people I've known in my entire life were as smart the fucking first time I met them as they ever were, and they only got more distant and like vacant and more confused about the world. Like, your brain doesn't get better after a few years. And I'm terrified of becoming one of these people that we see on the internet who is like kind of lefty or like, you know, open and human to people 10 or 15 years ago. And then all of a sudden you wake up one day and it's like, how do you become Graham Linehan? How do you become Russell Brand? How do you become Joe Rogan? Like, literally platforming actual fucking neo-Nazis, crypto-fascists, and people who support the overthrow of the world. Like, you're the fucking pocket pussies and weed guy. How the fuck did this happen? You know what I mean? And I'm terrified it's going to happen to me. So I can't permit reality. I can't permit other people to see reality for not what reality is. around me, or for people to think that it's okay to treat me like that, because I want everyone to be, if I start losing my mind, I want everyone to be nice to me. You know, I want people to say like, no, it's not like that. And for them to provide me the kind of arguments that will convince me. Like, with all due respect to somebody like Demon Mama or Vosh or Xander Hall that are like big on this space, that are arguably on my side, I would rather be around one of them than, I mean, you know, in not really, but like if I had to choose, then like anybody on like the EFAP podcast or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Or anybody like Grums or something, you know, if it was somebody deciding like how to treat someone else that was kind of like losing their minds, I would rather be on their side. But I'll still feel like I'm fucking losing my mind if you can't describe reality in reality's terms. It would just make me feel like I'm losing grip with myself even faster. Even if you are saying all the things I want to hear, like I still wouldn't trust you, you know what I mean? I'm from the horror world. If I ever have a moment where I'm like, I feel like I can't remember the last 20 years and this is the first time I'm experiencing this. If I walk into, you know, soft diffuse white light and lab coats world, everyone's like, no, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I'm going to be like, all right, well, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm going to probably stab someone here before the end of the night because we're doing fucking Shutter Island rules. Oh, but that's pretty much it. I've seen older people counter that ideology. I think as people get older, it's harder to embrace change plus lead. I think so too. I think it's literally just the world gets upset and you just get closer to dying. I think you just get scared. And I think being scared, and I think maybe your mind's starting to go, those are all just really stupid, and scared is like the fucking seedbed for fascism. It's really what it is. And I'm afraid I'm going to get stupid and scared one day, and I don't want to. That's pretty much it. I don't want to turn into like a lefty reactionary fucking Demon Mama calling out Jeff Tiedrick is the funniest thing. If you guys don't know who Jeff Tiedrick is, he's like a Twitter reply guy back when you had blue checks and stuff. His daughter is Katie Tiedrick, who is a webcomic artist and NASA engineer. And Katie Tiedrick, I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. Someone can say it in chat if you want. Katie Tiedrick has the best video game comic ever. Ever. Hold on, I'll look it up real quick. You still get points if you post it. Awkward Zombie. Awkward Zombie is the best video game webcomic that has ever existed. Bar none. Better than Penny Arcade, better than Control-Alt-Delete, better than all of the other, what's it going? Apple Geeks. You guys remember Apple Geeks? Nobody remembers Apple Geeks. You want a dark one? Here's how, if you are 34 at most, 34 to 39, maybe 40, I'm going to say a word right now that will send you on a death spiral. No one else will know, but if you were in high school, basically from 2000 to 2005-ish, and you played video games or watched anime, I'm going to say this word, and it might actually cause literal fucking mimetic damage. Mega Tokyo. VG Cats, yeah. You guys want a deep cut? You gotta get deep cut. VG Cats ain't shit. You want a deep cut? How about Exterminate Us Now? Warhammer 40k furry video game webcomic. Exterminate Us Now. By Brits, by the way. By British people. It's a British comic. She was a populist. She doesn't have an ideology, but she knows how to reach people. Yeah, she just says that you're right. Shu's entire, people are like, Shu is a genius. She knows how to, dude, Shu literally just says, people, you are right, and people are crazy for being mean to you. That's Shu's entire thing. That's why fucking Vosh probably liked her for 5 seconds, is she probably talked to him in a DM, and she's like, you were completely right about this, and it's crazy that people were mean to you. If you actually boil it down to that, that's all of Shu on Head's content is either you were right and people were mean to you, or it's just a slight variation on that. It is you were right and it's crazy that people don't think you're right, and that's it. Her Shoe on Head's entire content cycle is confirmation bias for idiots. And that's it the whole time. Like, it's crazy that she's still around. Like, she just, like, blows fascist dudes and then does confirmation bias content. It's crazy that people don't agree with the way that you think, and you were right the whole time. I don't know why people don't understand that this is crazy, but it is. That's the entire that's it. Put on makeup, be mid. Be mid. One of the most profoundly mid people on the internet. Do the boxy eyeshadow that white boy shut-ins like, and then your shoe. If you're like, oh, Tyler, I feel like you're being, like, I don't know, sexist or dismissive, that's fine, I guess, in this case. Maybe I am. I don't know. But I'm just telling you that's the whole recipe. That's it. There's nothing else. Literally not another fucking drop. There's no insight. There's no policy knowledge. There's not even, like, any sort of connections. Just, first off, have been doing that for a long time. And never stray from it. Just say, oh my God, you're right. Whatever the thing is of the literal moment that's happening, that's the mildest hot take. Just say, yeah, that's like the most obvious intuitive response to this. And it's crazy people aren't being intuitive. Congratulations, you cracked the code. Literally, you can start this now. Just do it. Draw a little avatar of a chick. Make sure a hot chick, right? Abs. Dark eyeshadow, bright eye color. Comfy hairstyle. Don't go too crazy. Neutral background. All your content is like your mom patting you on the hand and saying, that's right, and they are mean for saying that. Congratulations, you figured out that's everything. Everything! Sick of people telling me it's not. She went ahead rocks the emo girl look from 2003. It's funny as hell. She can't ever leave it because literally if she doesn't wear that makeup, people won't know who she is and it'll be a riot. You gotta fucking go buy those gigantic gallons. Fucking, I don't even know if she's using normal makeup. At this point, she's just got to have eye black from like basketball or football. She's putting football, just getting a whole smudge on each eye because it's a pain in the ass to put on real makeup. Maybe throwing on some fake eyelashes. Just having to listen to whatever fucking fashy she's banging at the moment. Why are you putting on fake? I've never seen somebody glue on eyelashes. Just trying to fucking just use her like this, their eyelash curler. And while her fucking husband's in the next room listening to fucking the German national anthem circa 1936. Can you turn that off? I've got to go live in half an hour.